right, good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast, and this is episode 176. This is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. But before we get on with the show, I'd like to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. Visit us on Twitter at PS This Is Awesome and Tumblr, psthisisawesome.tumblr.com. If you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PSN, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. And as always, you can write the show at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. Be sure to leave comments and rate the podcast as you see fit. And please, again, if you're listening to the podcast and not watching it on YouTube, we ask that you head over to our YouTube channel to indulge in daily video content. And we already gave you the address for that. And with all of that out of the way, Jake, how are you this fine evening?
Good. I had a long weekend, did a lot. Didn't get to celebrate Easter today, which sucks. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. Do you generally celebrate Easter? I come from a family that's not very religious. I take it back. My dad's religious and my mom's religious, but we never really went to like conventional church, right? So like Easter seems like it's one of those bordering on religious only holidays at this point. I mean, we're older now, so we're not like, we don't have kids. We're not like chasing eggs and stuff, but.
I come from a pretty religious family on both sides, and so we always do Easter in some capacity. Mm-hmm. The family did do an Easter get together this year. I just couldn't go because I was exposed to COVID, so I had to stay home.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right on the edge of like what's acceptable. Like I'm at like 10 days or 11 days out or whatever from whenever I was exposed to someone with symptoms. But it was like my boss, who was the one that exposed me, he didn't show symptoms until day 12 after exposure.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I'm not going to go. Like, I feel like a lot of the people that are there have either had it or are vaccinated.
At work.
But
yeah.
No, for Easter today.
It's your Easter get together. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. But my brother was going to be there, and my nephew, who's he's almost 2. Like I didn't want to, and none of them are vaccinated or have had it, so I didn't want to risk getting anyone sick. Me. And I told Josh and that I felt bad about it, but because we haven't seen them in a while. But it is what it is.
Well, at this point, we all see the light at the end of the tunnel. People are getting vaccinated. Why risk it, right? That's my thought process.
Then I think in Pennsylvania here, the 19th, it's open to everybody.
Yeah,
for vaccines.
That's great.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So it still remains to be seen. I have to imagine I'll probably end up getting it, assuming I don't get COVID before then. Mm-hmm. But Sarah, my wife, got vaccinated. Good. Few days ago, she got her first dose. So that's cool. I don't know. One thing I've always wondered is like, what if you get COVID between the first and second dose?
That's where I'm at right now. I had my first one. I'm supposed to get my second one on the 9th. And I played this gig last night, right? I played at this place. I'm not going to name the establishment. They were really good to me. Everything was really good. But it was an outdoor place. And granted, it's still early April, so it's really, really cold out. And, nobody had masks. And there was probably like 80, 90 people at this thing. And I'm just like, this seems really sketchy. Now, granted, the philosophy of the musicians who are playing gigs right now is that the safest place to be is on stage because no one's coming up and trying to pal around with you because you're playing music the whole night, right? No, you're not really close to people. But
yeah,
there's a caveat to this story. The caveat is it was also like 50 degrees, 45 degrees by 8 o'clock, and they had like heaters out for me. But the way that this place works is that everybody has to buy cans from the place, right? So it's cans. Now, this is kind of funny because it's like the perfect storm for me because it's like a supply and demand situation. Guess who just got new merchandise that are koozies? This guy. Yeah. So I sold like 30 koozies. So I'm pretty much out of stock. So, but hey, it worked. But the thing is, so that meant I had a lot of people come to my merch table and a lot of people giving me money and stuff. So I could have been exposed. No one's called me and said, hey, I have it. and you were at this place on the weekend, but I get my second shot on. They say that your second, you should wait 2 weeks after your second shot to be fully vaccinated. However, I did hear 2 weeks after your first shot, which I'm already at that point, you're like 50 to 80% good to go.
I think it should be clear too that like a lot of people misunderstand. Just because you're vaccinated, you can still get it. Doesn't mean you don't get it. It just means that it's not going to kill you, generally speaking.
You still get it. Yeah, nothing keeps you from getting it.
You still get it. It's just not that bad when you do.
They're usually asymptomatic and you don't get symptoms, right? Or if you get them,
or if
like
you do, they're
weak.
mild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and from what I understand too, and I'm curious to see how this will go for you and for Sarah.
The second shot.
My understanding is that the second shot makes you sick. Mm-hmm. And at least a lot of people have said that. I don't know if it's always the case, but it's like 1 or 2 days and then you're done with it. Like, it's not like this big, like extended thing. Mm-hmm. You know, some people that get COVID, I mean, they're dealing with it for months. Yeah. So
they say if you don't get a little sick, then something might have went wrong with your first shot. You getting sick is your body's response, you know, fighting whatever. So the weird thing is my father's had both shots, and the day after he got a second one, now he's mid-60s, you know, I would think it would have put him on his ass. He was just really tired all day, and he just slept all day the next day. And then, you know, second day after getting his second shot, he was back up and fine. So it's probably just going to make you really tired and groggy. Maybe you'll have a headache. Maybe you'll feel a little sick. Maybe you'll get some chills. But I don't know.
I've been having some nasty headaches the last few days.
Oh, no.
And, I mean, I've been checking my temperature every single time I get one. Mm-hmm. But, like, the kind of the perfect storm is that right now the allergies are fucking crazy because the temperature has been like going up and down and up and down. This week where we're at, between Tuesday and Thursday, the temperature dropped like 45 degrees.
Like a 45-degree swing.
Yeah, it was like, I think 70, low 70s on Tuesday, and Thursday it was 30.
Yeah, it is. It's been absolutely crazy. I mean, there were people golfing last weekend.
I know, man. I actually drove past the golf course today, and I was like, man, I would love to go golfing.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. Well, Keith's writing us about that. Hey, anyways, let's talk about some video games, Jake. Games we're currently playing. I actually purchased Valkyria Chronicles 2 because I've played 3 and 4. I don't know that Valkyria Chronicles 1. I don't even know that exists. It must.
Valkyria Chronicles 1 is the first.
What's the third one? What's the third one?
The third one is Valkyria Chronicles 3.
What's the latest one they came out with? Wasn't it 4?
Valkyria Chronicles 4, yeah. So the Valkyria Chronicles was the first one you played that you had all that trouble with on PS3.
Yeah, I beat that one. I loved it.
That was the first one.
2 because 2 was only available on the PSP. 2 was
only on PSP, and then 3
came out recently.
Maybe
a couple years ago.
Maybe, I don't remember a whole lot about 3, but 4 just came out on
3?
PS4.
I honestly don't know what 3 is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Are you sure 3 isn't the most recent one?
No, 4 is, because I played the demo for 3. I remember it being really cool. 3 was also PSP only. So 2 and 3 were PSP only.
Oh, shit, I better get the third one then, too.
But I don't know if 3 ever was
ported out,
imported.
Exclusive.
I don't know if it was ever. I think it's localized.
I think it's Japan exclusive. That's why I haven't played it. But anyways, I picked up Valkyria Chronicles 2 on the PSP because I haven't played it, and they're shutting the PSP store down. I also, on the spring sale, picked up Ni no Kuni 2 for $8, which I think is probably a steal, even though some people say it's not as good as the first one. And Jake, I finally pulled the trigger and I got G.I. Joe Operation Blackout, which I have a little bit to talk about. I'll talk about it right now. The game's just a pile of hard garbage. It sucks. The game's terrible. I was telling you in a text, Jake, that it's a third-person shooter, and all it is essentially tower defense the whole game. And you play G.I. Joe characters, and you're fighting battle android troopers, which are bats. And at the end of every mission, there is awesome story, though. Like, they put a lot of work into the cartoon and stuff in between the missions, which is actually kind of fun to watch for me. But, man, The aiming is just so piss poor. It's so bad. I've tried all the different sensitivity levels on the analog stick. I can't move the cursor and hit anybody in this game. It's that bad. Like, unless I'm just like, you got 5-6 androids attacking your character and you're just trying to like really delicately put it where it needs to go so you can attack, or you can just enable auto aim and then you're constantly like L2 to pull up your gun and it just snaps on a guy and then you fire and then it'll break off because it's auto aim. You got to break it away and then L2 again, auto aim. And that's just how you have to play this whole game. And it's just so disappointing. They can't make a good G.I. Joe game to save their lives. I got it, Jake, because it had a lot of extras, a lot of collectibles. There's a lot of extra art. They have the new Classified series out that they're selling at stores, which are really cool versions of the characters. They're the first 6-inch G.I. Joe figures for a long time. And they're like the Star Wars 6-inch figures. And they actually modeled the characters from the game after Hasbro's vision for the new 6-inch character line. So I was interested in seeing all the artwork and like their little write-ups as to why, because they have like little like design notes next to the characters, why they did what they did with the, I'm such a G.I. Joe nerd for anyone who doesn't know, but some of this stuff is locked behind like collectibles and challenges, like beat the level in less than like 6 minutes, or defeat Cobra Commander, before he escapes. But like the aiming is so piss poor that it's almost impossible to. And I'm playing it on easy. I'm playing it on the easiest mode, clearly, because I don't care to have a challenge in this game. I just want to hear the story and play it. But I mean, anyways, I digress. Valkyria Chronicles 2 is exactly what I want. It's on my Vita. Everybody knows, and I haven't tried Ni no Kuni 2. But what I did do. I beat Blood and Truth, and I started playing a little bit of Farpoint, which is kind of cool. And I talked about that last episode, so I'm going to shut up about those games. I'll get to Ni no Kuni 2 eventually. I want to play Valkyria Chronicles 2, maybe a skirmish every once in a while, maybe as I'm just kind of hanging out and I see my Vita. It was a good reason to break the Vita out. Anyways, Jake, what are you doing?
I remember when I played the demo for Valkyria Chronicles 4, I really liked it. Those types of games can be very... My biggest problem with those types of games is I really like playing them.
Yeah, they're really fun.
But when you lose a 40-minute battle and you have to start over, like that's one of those things where I'm just like, I can't do this. Like I literally can't do this over again. It's literally breaks the experience for me. And I get that that's part of it, right? But I would much rather it be like, if it was like a shorter thing where it was like, 10 minutes and I got to redo that, like a boss fight in another game or something like that. Okay, whatever. But you spend all this time strategizing and you make it, and then you like make one hiccup at the very end of it and then dead. Everybody's dead.
Or like the enemy gets really lucky with a shot, right? And takes out like your key character. And it's like, or someone shows up from like behind the grass that you didn't see, and they just like blow up your fucking tank, and then it's like, 50 minutes gone, thank you. Yeah, it is frustrating.
I mean, I'm of two minds of it. I mean, I don't think that they should. I don't think that they should coddle people with games if they don't want to, but at the same time, like I understand like the why doesn't Dark Souls have an easy mode kind of argument, because this is like my version of that, where it's like I would love to play every XCOM game that comes out. Yeah, I would love to go back and play Final Fantasy Tactics. I would love to, because I love like the mechanics of these strategy RPG games, especially Valkyria Chronicles, which has a really unique kind of style.
It's so cool.
But like, I get really frustrated whenever I get to the end of a battle. Like if I lose something and then I got to do it all over again. It like when you feel like you're backtracking, it's kind of the same. I think it probably stems from the same reason why I can't really dig into like roguelikes very much, because you die and you have to start all the way the fuck over from the beginning. And it's like, I don't got a lot of time. I just want to make progress, even if it's just a little bit at a time. Anyway, I digress. It doesn't really matter. So what I'm playing is I beat Katana Zero, which I was talking about last week. And let me tell you, I know this game came out like 2 years ago, but I'm not even kidding, might be the best game I've played so far this year.
Really?
It's so fucking good. Yeah, it is unbelievably good. I don't really have anything else to say about it. The story is really bizarre. It's got like I said last week, it's got like that kind of fever dream sort of aesthetic that Hotline Miami does a little bit, and things get really wacky because your character is on this like, you know, sorry if this is a spoiler for anyone, but he's on like this drug that's like a time dilation kind of thing. And so it's like everything is fucking all over the place all the time. It's like the whole game is like Quentin Tarantino is telling it. It's really bizarre, but very, very good. And then I started playing Octopath Traveler, which I'm like 5 hours into it, I think. And it is really cool. I'm not going to lie. It is really cool. I kind of wish you could play it, Fred, because I think you would really like it. It's interesting. The art, which we talked about last week, is so unique. It's like what they did was they made a 16-bit RPG in Unreal Engine. So what it looks like is somebody made, and I was talking to, when I was playing this yesterday, Sarah was kind of watching me a little bit, and I was kind of telling her like, what it looks like is, imagine somebody made a diorama of a 16-bit video game. So like they like out of paper and like cardboard, like printed like all this 16-bit art and like folded it into boxes and made like the world in 3D. That's what it looks like, because it's high def, other than the fucking textures are 16-bit. And then when you're running around, there's all these particle effects with like weather and stuff that are like legit, you know, Unreal Engine shit.
Yeah.
And then like as you're running, like the trees and stuff, even though they're 16-bit art, are like waving in real time with like the weather and stuff.
It looks just absolutely
Unreal. Dude, it is so cool. And like the music so far is really good in it.
It's really attractive looking. And
one of the probably most interesting things about it, like I said, I'm not super far into it. I'm only 5 hours in, which isn't a lot for a JRPG, is that I think why it's called Octopath Traveler is because there are 8 characters that you can choose from at the beginning, and they all have their own unique story, and they all start in completely different parts of the map.
Oh, okay.
So and it's basically what character you pick is kind of what class you want to play as, right? Like, do you want to play as the cleric, or do you want to play as the hunter? Or do you want to play as the knight character? Do you want to play as the alchemist character? What, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and so basically I picked the thief character, but just because in all kinds of RPGs and stuff, I really like that class and that play style.
Yeah.
So I picked the thief character, and he starts out, and you basically play through the first hour and a half is like the origin story of his thief and why he starts this journey. And if you pick any of the other characters, you play their completely different origin story for how they start. But no matter what character you pick, you go around the map and you can pick the other characters up as party members. And when you pick them up, you have the option to play the origin story for that character too.
Oh, that's cool.
Before they join your party permanently.
That's nice.
So, because my concern was like, oh, I want to know what happens with all these other characters, but I don't want to have to restart this game like
and play it 7 more times. Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I got like the third, or I'm on like getting the third character so far, and it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. There's nothing really special as far as the RPG elements of it go. The mechanics go. It's very standard JRPG, like Super NES era JRPG kind of stuff. It's not quite as complicated as something like Final Fantasy VI or something like that. It's a little bit more straightforward, but there are characters that have a little bit more of a complicated spin to them. Like the hunter class, she's also can like capture and utilize enemies as like attacks, you know? Mm-hmm. So like she has like a little bit of like a Pokemon kind of aesthetic to her, where she can basically, when you like harm an enemy, she can capture them, and then she can then use them as an attack later in battle.
Yeah.
But those captured enemies are a limited. It's not like, you know, it's not like Final Fantasy VI, for example. When you learn from an Esper, you gain that power indefinitely. She captures it, and she can use it a limited number of times before she has to capture another one.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty interesting. And then they have this other interesting spin on the combat where you have this boost mode where it's like if you go so many turns without using a boost, every single turn you gain another boost point. And you can use up to 4 at a time, and you can stack them all on to one attack, and that attack will do way more damage, or you'll do way more healing on your party or whatever. And so you can use that kind of strategically to, quote Al Gore and SNL, but like, it's really cool. And the one caveat about the one kind of sort of, I don't know if it's a hole, but it's like a mechanical breakdown of the what I think is unique about having these 8 characters and being able to like go pick up one of the characters and then play their backstory and then continue on, is that there's no real like context for why these characters are traveling together.
Oh,
like when you pick up, it's like very loose, right? Like my main character is like, oh, I gotta find these 3 orbs for my patron. He's a thief, right? So he's got to find these 3.
He's on a quest,
magic orbs to get myself out of trouble for this patron or whatever. So I go out, and then I go to pick this other girl up who's the hunter class, and she's like, oh, my master's gone missing. I've got to find him. And so she travels because she's got to find her master. But there's no like dialogue where they're like, oh, well, let's travel together until we both complete our tasks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just basically like, now I'm going out to the world, and then you're in a party together.
That's kind of
like
weird.
it's
like there's no common goal.
Yeah, but there is the one thing that they do that makes it sort of nice is that.
Is that you or me? Sirens?
It's me. There's sirens going by. I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's weird when sirens go by. The thing that makes it cool is that it allows you to kind of use your characters. When you pick up a new character, you got to play through their original kind of story, right?
Yeah.
But you can, once you get to the point where you're doing all the combat and stuff, you have your party go with her. So it makes it easier. So you don't have to like, because the original... You remember Final Fantasy Tactics, how like the beginning of it's super hard?
Yeah, right. You're flying solo in Octopath, right?
Right. So when you first start a character, the first hour of it's really hard because you're by yourself. You have no companions to help you in combat or anything. And so when you go to unlock a new character, you don't have to do that thing alone.
That's
right?
cool.
You can bring all the characters you have with you, and you can kind of do their shit, and then you continue. Anyway, I digress. I'm talking a lot about a game you can't even play on PlayStation, but I guarantee you this game is going to come to PlayStation.
Well, here's the thing. It just got, right, are you playing it on Xbox then? Because it just got released on the Xbox store. So yeah, it's just a matter of time, I think. It came out on Switch and I think maybe Steam. I don't know if it was on Steam or not, but yeah, the game looks really, 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 really cool. It's been on my radar for a couple years now since it released. I've really wanted to try it.
Dude, you have honestly, like, I'm not kidding. I don't know if you'd be willing to do this or not, but if for whatever reason it doesn't come to PlayStation, you should see, I think it is on Steam. You should see if it's Mac compatible and just hook your PlayStation controller up to your Mac and fucking play it on your Mac.
Dude, there's no way
it
it's
is really
Mac
cool.
compatible. There's so few good games that are Mac compatible on Steam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I ended up buying Alien Isolation a while ago. It was like the only like awesome game.
Can't you use
something to get Windows on here?
Well, they have that compatibility feature. What's it called? Parallels?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, continue.
Blah. Anyways. Yeah, let's get into the news, Jake. So we mentioned last week that the PlayStation 3 store, the PSP store, and the Vita store are all getting shut down by Sony. This is a big deal. To confirm, the PlayStation 3 store is closing July 2nd. The Vita and PSP stores are closing August 27th of this year.
Just so you know, I think that you are incorrect in that I'm pretty sure the PSP store is closing the same time as the PS3 store.
Oh, really?
Not the Vita store. I did read an article, and maybe you read the same article as I did, and maybe that's why you mixed it up.
Yeah.
Is that they worded it, the PS3 store closes on 7/2, the Vita store closes on 8/27, and the PSP store also closes on 7/2. So like they worded it really weird so that it sounded like the Vita and the PSP. Now, obviously we should double check that. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you can check it. Hey, I'll keep talking. So that's happening July and August. And I got an email from PlayStation, and our listeners may have as well. They sent emails to PSN users that specifically states the following. You will still be able to download your owned PS3, PS Vita, and PSP content, including games and video content. You can download your owned content onto your PS3, PS Vita, or PSP by accessing the download list on the respective device. If you have purchased a PS3 or PS Vita cross-buy bundle and have only downloaded either the PS3 or the PS Vita version, you'll need to download the other version prior to the closure of the PlayStation Store on the relevant device. Video content that you own can be streamed on PS3, PS4, or PS5 through the My Videos app or on mobile devices through the PlayStation Video app. You will still be able to re-download and play game titles you have claimed through PlayStation Plus as long as you remain eligible for PS Plus. And I think that was mainly it. And I had another one. It looks like I was starting to write something, but I must not have finished my thought.
So just so you know, according to PC Magazine, their website, I was correct. So the the PS3 and PSP stores close on July 2nd. The Vita store closes on 8/27. So, buy the shit while you can, I guess. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to go on there and spend like probably $100 or $200 just buying games because I hate having to do this. Hopefully they're nice enough to like, because they're closing the store, hopefully they're nice enough to put like a big sale on or something like that. But they're not going to, because now is their chance to make money.
Right.
Like people are like, they're scrambling to buy shit before they close the store. Why would they lower the price? Because now they're guaranteed to make money on it. You know what I mean?
So here's the other problem. So there are, and those listening may not fully understand, like the Vita store is chock full of digital only games. And the PS3 store is chock full of digital only games that you can only get through that store that aren't available anywhere else. So when they close these stores, these games are possibly going to just be lost. Like they're just done. Like there's no other way to get them unless you own them. Unless you own them already, or unless you buy them before the store closes. Like there aren't physical copies of these things, which is really weird that Sony's doing this. It's kind of like a big FU to all the developers who were trusting in them to have a platform to sell their games to. So game developers are actually canceling projects now that they were working on for Vita. Others are trying to speed up development to get the games out before the Vita store closes. And then Push Square said that Sony is going to stop certifying games on July 12th. So there's from what I understand, because of this closure, there's going to be 2,200 games that are digital only, I believe, that are getting guillotined here. That's a shit ton of games, dude.
Jeez.
And there's
a lot.
Bionic Commando Rearmed, I know, is digital only. And that game was fantastic. And I think Strider was the Strider game.
Only.
That was fantastic. There's
that's on PS4 though.
Is the Strider on PS4?
Yeah.
Okay. But I know Bionic Commando Rearmed is not. So there's
a lot of shit like that. I mean, I know, you can still play it on other platforms, and they have like a remastered version of it, but like Castle Crashers was one of my favorite games on PS3, and that was a digital only game, but they did make a PS4 port of it, so it's not that big of a deal. But a lot of those games like that,
Valkyria Chronicles too, dude.
Yeah, like a lot of those early, indie, PSN titles are gonna be gone.
And even some of these, I guess some of these Vita games did have Vita cartridges with them, like Uncharted Golden Abyss and Resistance Burning Skies and Unit 13, games like that. But I mean, essentially the Vita's dead. I mean, they did come out with that PS TV that you had one of those, don't you?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah. So I mean, it still doesn't help you though.
I've been thinking about selling it because people are apparently paying a bunch of money for them. I bought my PS TV for literally $20. That's insane.
I remember when they were all on sale. Yeah, I didn't buy them.
Oh my God. When they originally came out, they were like $150 or $200 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think nobody
bought them.
Weren't they just $100?
Maybe, but they were still a lot. I mean, still at least $100, and nobody bought them because, like, why the fuck would you buy? Like, honestly, the reason why I wanted a PS TV is because I thought, oh, well, maybe I could play Uncharted Golden Abyss on my television.
Yeah, but no, that's one of the ones that
can't
didn't work
play that
with
one with the PS TV because you got to have the fucking camera so you can hold it under the light, or you got to shake the thing to get the dust off.
It was a good game, dude.
So bad.
It was a really good game too.
It sucks that
and the Killzone Mercenary was fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you play that game?
Yeah, I played it. It sucks that it's on Vita just because
it's actually a really good game.
It's a cool game, but it kind of runs crappy because it's on the Vita. I mean, it runs good for a Vita.
I thought it ran really well for being on a handheld. Yeah.
It runs good for what it is, but it compared to a modern like first person shooter when you're getting used to playing these games at like 30 to 60 frames.
Well, you got to figure the analog sticks on the Vita are just little tiny toothpicks too. So I mean, it's not like.
But it works good. It works good for what it is. I mean, it's probably one of the best Vita games, to be honest with you.
Killzone
Both of those are
awesome.
Uncharted Golden Abyss. I have to imagine. Maybe they never will. But after the Vita store closes,
they gotta get.
If they don't make a console port of Golden Abyss, and that game is just fucking lost.
Yeah, Sony Bend Studios made that. Same company that did Days Gone.
I know, but like, dude, it's a canon Uncharted game.
I know, yeah, it's so good. It's so weird for them just to say I don't care.
I never finished it.
Really?
Yeah, I dude, there's no way you're gonna get me to play a 30-hour fucking Vita game.
It was so good.
It was really long for an Uncharted game.
It was longer than I expected it to be, yeah. Well, hey, No Man's Sky, Jake, is getting yet another free expansion called Expeditions. And I really need to get back into this game. I was never really into it, but I want to try it in a bad way. But I might have to wait till winter now. I don't know.
Dude, I was really into it for a while, but like, and honestly, I kind of was like, meh, after a while. Even after they did all these updates, No Man's Sky Next and all that kind of crap. It looks great, and I'm glad that they have this redemption arc, but I just kind of was over it.
Yeah.
And then when I saw like the trailers for that fucking
the horror part of it or whatever,
horror stuff, the spooky stuff, for like the derelict spaceships and shit, I was like, that looks fucking cool. Like I want to do that. So I would like to jump back in at some point, even just to try the VR part of it, because I never did try.
Yeah,
that,
neither did I. I hear that it's a little. Leaves a little to be desired, but it'd probably be pretty cool. Speaking of No Man's Sky, Jake, this is probably the best video game deal I ever got. When the game tanked, right, initially it just tanked, it ate shit. I knew or had heard rumors that they were going to keep just putting content out and making it better. And there was rumors that like the whatever the big expansion was for it that fixed a lot of it. Next was coming out, I knew it was going to happen. I went to Walmart and they had it on sale for $5 in their bargain bin. I think you can't buy it for less than like 30 right now. No Man's Sky. So,
dude, yeah, I mean that's a sick deal. I paid full price for it. I bought it when it came out.
Did you?
And I'll be honest with you, like I'm not sad that I did. I still really enjoyed it. Yeah. It was just it just lost a lot of favor because it wasn't exactly what people wanted. Well, to be fair, the marketing for that game was very misleading. And they kind of lied a little bit about what you were going to get whenever you got the game. Now, they did bring all of that shit and more to the game eventually. Yeah. It just was not there at launch. So, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Like, I think I saw one of the new features of this newest update is that you and a friend can start on the same planet, like start new characters on the same planet together, which is pretty interesting. You don't have to like find each other and stuff. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I still think the game is really impressive and I still really enjoy it.
Really ambitious.
It's just, dude, when I played it for the first time, I don't know how much you played of it, but
not a whole lot.
There was literally in the game, it was like when Minecraft first came out, and it was just this like this wasteland. Like there was no information on how to do what you needed to do and how to like solve these problems. It was like, yeah, it's supposed to be an exploration game. They want you to like figure this shit out on your own. But like, it was really cryptic. Like you would find these weird obelisks and shit. And it's like, what does this mean? I don't fucking know. And then it would just like say some words to you and then you would just continue. And I'm like, okay, I guess that means something. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. It was cool though. I like the game a lot.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Hey, I wanted to let the listeners know, Jake, that there is a really big spring sale going on. Like I said, I picked up Operation Blackout on sale and Ni no Kuni 2 on sale. So if you guys are looking for deals right now, there's a lot on the PSN. Jake, I don't know if you saw anything that really stood out to you, but a lot of the games that were on sale, I pretty much already owned that I was interested in, you know. I don't know if you saw anything.
I don't know if I looked at the spring sale yet.
It's pretty good. All right, well, you take a look. I'm going to keep going. CD Projekt Red has canceled any plans they had to make a Cyberpunk exclusive multiplayer game. They've also released an enormous patch for Cyberpunk. It's a long-awaited patch. I mean, the patch list was ridiculous. I don't know if you saw the patch list. It was like 30 pages long or something.
Did it fucking fix the game?
I haven't tried. In fact, I think my PS5 tried to download the patch, and it said it couldn't download it or something. So I think it was probably just because I wasn't connected or something to the internet. I don't know. But and then speaking of CD Projekt Red, they did indicate that this is to my excitement that the Witcher 3 PS5 version is still on track to release in 2021, which we'll all be getting free upgrades of that. So I'm excited for that, dude.
Yeah, they're gonna fucking, when that comes out, they're gonna be like, wait, we made The Witcher. You know, we didn't fuck up with this other game that everybody was waiting for.
Or they released The Witcher for PS5 and it's just buggy like the original Witcher was, and they have to go patch it.
I have a hard time believing that'll be true.
They're not gonna.
I mean, if they released another game that was a buggy mess, I mean,
yeah,
they would never sell another game again, probably.
Yeah. So here's the big news. This is like, as far as I'm concerned, the big news story of the week. We all know that MLB The Show has been a staple for PlayStation users. It's been exclusive to PlayStation until this year, and then they announced that it was going to be going to Xbox. So MLB The Show now can be available to Xbox players. Well, as it turns out, MLB The Show is going to be a free game on Xbox Game Pass, which is just so crazy. That's like a crazy turnaround. Like,
Microsoft must be paying Sony so much fucking money for this, because I honestly didn't even know this was the case until I literally just read it on our news.
It's ridiculous.
Here. I cannot believe this is happening, and the fact that it is happening tells me two things. One, like I said, Microsoft must be paying Sony so much fucking
Sony
money
Studios game
to get this thing on Game Pass. And second of all, maybe this means that there might be a little bit more of a
tit for
not
tat.
necessarily collaboration between Microsoft and Sony, but maybe you'll see a little bit. Maybe Sony's like preemptively being like, hey, we'll maybe cut you a deal on getting the show on Game Pass.
Which means they get it for free, the Game Pass subscribers.
Keep the Bethesda shit flowing our way when it comes out.
Yeah, don't be dicks.
And then maybe there's a little bit of like backdoor kind of wheeling and dealing going on between these two companies. They don't want to like outwardly be like, buddy, because then maybe it would cause some
What
issues
are the chances, dude? What are the chances that Sony missed something and Microsoft were like, yeah, let's just sign the deal. We'll give them this, and then it's literally ours, and we'll just put it on Games Pass. And like, what if like Sony's like, oh shit, we fucked up, and like somehow, like, is it possible that Microsoft like swung their big wiener around and was just like, we're gonna put it on Games Pass? Like, thanks for letting us have this game on our system, but we're putting it on Games Pass.
I don't think that's how it works, and I don't
think it be possible?
Sony is not that stupid. I mean, I could see them making a little bit of a blunder, but that's a huge blunder. And to be fair, like, I'm sure Sony has talked to other developers that have released games, other publishers that have released games on Game Pass, and been like, hey, what's your experience with this? What are we expecting? How are they going to treat us?
What'd they pay you guys? Yeah, right.
Yeah, so like, I'm sure that they got some they got, they did their homework before they allowed this to happen.
Well,
the other thing too is to remember, like, games aren't on Game Pass indefinitely. Sony could have just said, like, hey, we'll give you it on Game Pass for a month after it comes out.
Yeah, we don't know.
And then after that, they got to pay for it, or maybe it's like a year or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a year, it wouldn't matter because the next one's coming out. So, but like, you get what I mean? Like, it could be that it's on Game Pass, but it's only going to be on Game Pass for the first couple months, or it'll be all year. I don't know.
This is interesting. It's like the most interesting thing. The other thing is, like, as a Sony, arguably a fanboy for Sony. Hell, we have a PlayStation podcast, but like someone who I've been vocal on the show about wanting to purchase and get the show so I can play it this year. I'm like, God damn it, like. But Games Pass costs how much? It's like $13, $14 a month.
Well, I pay, I think it's like $10 a month.
So it'll be $120 for Games Pass then a year.
10 or $15 a month. Yeah. So it's like somewhere between, $120 and $180 a year. Right.
I'll gladly pay $70 for it and just have it. And then.
But dude, you forget, like, there are so many games on there.
Yeah.
And they're all good third-party games. To be clear, there's some shit on there. But like, now they have all of the Bethesda stuff on there. Like, I can go on there and play any of the fucking Elder Scrolls games. I can go on there and play any of the Fallout games. I can play any of the, Dooms or Wolfensteins or any of that shit. I can play any of that stuff. In addition to, like, all the first party stuff like Halo and all that. I am not a Microsoft fanboy by any means, but I think that what they're doing with Game Pass is really, really slick, really consumer friendly, even though they're definitely losing money on it, like we've talked about before. And
dude,
I bought that digital only Xbox One S, not this past Black Friday, but the Friday before that. I bought that fucking console for $150 on Black Friday just to use Game Pass. Like, I haven't purchased a single fucking game on that console. I literally just use it for Game Pass. And it's beneficial for this podcast too, because there are a lot of third-party games that are also released on PlayStation that are on Game Pass that I just don't have to pay for.
You can just play them and then talk about them
on Xbox.
Yeah. The experience is relatively the same between the two systems.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's not a big
short
deal.
of there being, some massive performance difference between the two or something. I mean, they operate essentially the same.
Yeah. So,
it is what it is. I think it's honestly, I wish that Sony would do something similar. And I do believe that they have something, I don't know if competitive is the right word, but they have something to fill that space a little bit with the PS Plus collection and all that stuff. And they've got, I would say that the games on PS Plus collection are those games as a whole are vastly superior to most of the games on Game Pass. So, but the problem with the collection is that if you're a decently avid PlayStation gamer like you or I, you've played all of them, right? So there's no incentive for you to kind of keep going back to that other than the fact that Sony's on the high horse right now, so there's no reason for them to give you anything.
They have to have something up their sleeves, though. They have to have something. I think that they've come out recently and have indicated that they don't believe that Games Pass is going to sustain based on what their business model, Microsoft. But again, you got to realize that Microsoft isn't hurting for money, so.
Yeah, they have so much money. They can ride this they could be in the red on Game Pass for like the next probably 2 console generations.
And it won't even really bother them.
And it won't really. Dude, they're talking about buying Discord for like fucking $9 billion.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, Discord.
And they are Discord. And they already bought fucking Bethesda for what, $7.3 billion, whatever the fuck it was.
I know that, dude, I know like Discord is like a thing with like younger gamers and stuff, but like, man, like I don't know anyone personally that uses Discord.
I know people that use it, and I know it's huge in this space. It's mostly, like you said, it is mostly people younger than us.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
It became a big thing, especially in the PC market, after we were kind of out of that space. And now it's becoming a big thing out of gaming. Like I listen to a few different podcasts where they have with their Patreon, they have a Discord server where all of their fan base can go and have conversations together. It's like having your own like personal little Reddit kind of, you know what I mean?
Just like a forum.
Like just your people are a part of.
Is it just like an internet forum that's like private? Essentially,
yeah, but it's more of but the mechanics of it are more like a chat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's a big stream, like a forum, but the mechanics are more like a chat and less like these like kind of billboardy posts, like a forum. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Cool. Well,
I don't know.
that's
We
crazy.
don't talk about Discord. It's not PlayStation related.
Speaking of PlayStation games that maybe we've already played. But the PS Plus games for April have been announced. I'm surprised by one of them. We are getting Days Gone, which, you know,
doesn't make sense.
Well, it does if you're a PS4 user, right? Because
yeah. I forgot it's a PS4 version.
No, there is only one version, but when
they don't have a PS5 version of it yet.
But on the PS5 it runs way smoother. So if you have a PS5, it's part of the PS Plus collection, but which the PS4 owners don't get. But the PS Plus game, so if you're subscribed for PS Plus, this month, Days Gone, Abe's World, Soulstorm, which is interesting. That's the new Abe World game. Too bad I'm not really interested at all in it. But like it might be enough for me to want to try it. It's a PS5 game.
I think that that's the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look interesting compared to the older games. It's got more mechanics for, you know, the stealth, and you can be offensive and defensive and stuff. It does look really cool.
Abe World Odyssey Soulstorm, I think. Or I don't know how it's just Abe's World Soulstorm? Is it Abe's World Odyssey Soulstorm? I just wrote it down quick.
Odd World. It's probably Odd World.
yeah, that's what. Why am I calling it? The character's name's Abe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
dude. I've been looking.
That's how little I know about that series.
I've been kind of scanning through the spring sale. You didn't play the Outer Worlds, did you?
No.
You should think about picking. Dude, it's only $24, and if you like fucking Fallout, you would probably like the Outer Worlds. It's like Fallout, but it like is less buggy and it's a little bit more compact. Like it's not this big sprawling fucking 300-hour experience. It's like you can beat it in 30 hours.
The other game, real quick, is Zombie Army 4 Dead War.
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were still.
No, you're fine. Go back to some of the sales that you're seeing that are striking your fancy, Jake. Are you going to pick anything up on the spring sale? It's tempting. When you see a good deal, it's tempting.
A lot of this stuff, you know, I've already have or have played. Like one of the things that stands out to me on here is Resident Evil 2 Remake for $16. That's a fucking great deal.
That's a steal.
That game is awesome. Battlefield 1 is only $6.
That's ridiculous.
That game is fucking awesome. That was the last great Battlefield game.
Yeah, that's a fantastic game.
I'm still kind of scanning through.
Yeah, we'll keep looking.
There's definitely some shit for
spring sale's looking pretty good.
People.
But while you're looking through that, I'm going to talk about the new games coming out this week into April 1st. And which actually would probably be last week if you're listening on time. Games that came out were Doom 3 VR Edition. Again, if I don't say PS5, they're all PS4. Auto Chess, PS5. Disco Elysium, PS5, PS4. I Saw Black Clouds, PS4. Undermine. That's UNDERMINE. That's PS4. Sorry. Void Bastards, Deluxe Edition. Easter Candy Break. Escape from Life Incorporated. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, Newtonian Inversion, Squad Killer, and Outriders, PS5, PS4, came out on April Fools.
Oh, shit. You know what I heard? I was talking about Outriders a couple weeks ago and how I kind of liked it, and I wish I could. I'm not going to purchase it, but I could, definitely see myself trying it out. It's going to be on Game Pass, so I might just play it.
Well,
because I won't have to pay for it.
Why not?
So that's cool.
Why not? Well, Jake,
I feel like we
talked about Xbox a lot today.
Yeah, maybe to the listeners, it seems like we're freaking, we're shilling Xbox a little bit too much if you're a diehard PlayStation fan. But look, I would rather play on PlayStation every single day of the week. There's a lot of shit that I do not like about Xbox, but you cannot deny, even as a PlayStation gamer, how great of a deal fucking Game Pass is. And I want Sony to come out with something similar, but they probably won't because it's such a fucking sinkhole for money.
Yeah, Sony can't afford to do it. There's no way Sony can afford to do this. Yeah. The PS Plus collection was pretty ridiculous for the PS5 players. We got so many.
Most of those games are more than a couple years old.
Yeah.
So they've made most of their money at this point.
Yeah, they haven't really given
hurt
away
them that bad.
The only new game that they're giving away that I can even identify on here is Oddworld Soulstorm. And this is a recent announcement.
The BioShock collection, $10.
Dude, I have that. Yeah, I still need to play BioShock 2. I beat one.
BioShock 2 is good. It's definitely the worst of them. But it is still really good.
So I beat 1 and 3 now. But I don't know, Jake. Let's make this a shorter podcast again today. We're already pushing about 50 minutes. It's Sunday night. I still got to get this stuff uploaded before midnight so our people can listen to it. This will be the most current PlayStation podcast we put out in a while. Well, since last week, because we did the same thing last weekend. But I've got nothing else for the listeners. Except that I hope everybody had a nice holiday, and I hope you guys are doing well out there, and we'll be back with you next week. Jake, did you have anything?
I did not have anything else here. I was just kind of scrolling through this. There's so many games on this sale.
Dude, there's a bazillion games on that sale.
I just don't... No, I don't have anything else to say.
All right, good. All right, good deal. So, as always, music at the end of the show may possibly be excluded from our YouTube channel for copyright reasons, so don't forget you can download and or stream this episode as well as others on your preferred podcasting platform. The closing track today is by Donnie Consola with his song The Road. You can listen to more of Donnie Consola by visiting his band's website, www.sundayatthestation.com. This is the track that was featured on the split that he and I had created, and all the vinyl are sold out. But if you want to support this actual release, you can go to my Bandcamp site, and we have our music all on my site because he doesn't have a Bandcamp. So it is fredoakman.bandcamp.com. But if you want to check out Donnie and his band, it's sundayatthestation.com. So don't forget, if you want to have your original music featured on the show, send an MP3 to our email account, which is pssisawesome@gmail.com, along with your band name and the title of the song, and we will notify you when or if it goes live. So, like Joe Deaver's Lone Wolf, Journey, and Jack and Daxter, P.S. This is awesome.
The sky's on fire again in Southern California. The horizon's black. What else is new? LA's dead, my eyes sting and my soul is worn, and I am on the road again. Rain-filled walks through the heart of Seattle. Flying fish and coffee bars. Portland cries, come and make your home with me, and I am on the road again. Another chilly night surrounded by the Great Lakes, keeping warm by the windshield defrosters. Detroit borns when sweat smokestacks, they find a home, and I am on the road again. Abandoned factories in Northeast Ohio. Akron sings a rust-filled song. Cleveland glows, but she ain't that far off anymore, and I am on the road again. vintage hotel room in Southwest Missouri. There's another day ahead. St. Louis calls past this way through my shining arch, and I am on the road again. Winding highways through the Great Smoky Mountains. All night drive, sleeping in cars. Knoxville yells, take your Yankee hide out of here, and I am on the road again. The peace and quiet of rural Pennsylvania helps to ease my troubled mind. Pittsburgh waits 2 hours south of here, and I am on the road again. Yes,